Welcome everyone. Hope you're having a great day. This is section 2.1. What are like terms? So we're going to continue on with our journey of simplifying using our standard right here. And today we're learning objectives. I'll learn and identify the different parts of an expression. I'll learn how to simplify expressions by combining like terms, right? So we're going to review what it means to be a like term. So like terms have the same variable and same exponent, right? Same variable, same exponents on that variable. For these ones, right? So this one, your 2x and 3x have the same variable x, and the exponent is 1, right? So 2x to the first power, but it doesn't say 1 there, but it's still to the first power. And your other like terms will be 8 and -6, right? Two numbers. And then let's go over the parts of an expression, right? So the parts of an expression, we have a variable, right? The variables are the letters, right? So variable is your letter here. So any letter. Coefficient is anything, your numbers in front of your variable, like you have 5x's, right? So your coefficient is 5. So any number in front of your variable is a coefficient, like this is 5, the coefficient. This one's 10 is a coefficient, because 10 x's. And a number by itself, this is a straight number, is called a constant, right? This one's -8. So we have those variable, coefficient, and constant. And each of those is a term, right? This is a term, one term. This is your second term. This is a third term, right? Term. And it's always separated by addition or subtraction. That's how you know you have a term or not. That's how I always combine like terms. We're always going to be adding and subtracting those like terms. Yeah, so let's go. So traditionally, you might have seen, right? You can circle, right? Circle your x's. You get 2 here, 5 here, or 3 here. You get 5 together. You circle your constants like 8 and -6. 8 minus 6 is 2, and then you have your new expression. Okay. So for this class, what we're going to do, we're going to create columns to help us organize it. And this is the reason. The reason why is because when we get later on, and we get higher variables like x squared or those type of things, it'll be easier to organize. So we're going to organize our terms in columns. Like this one, we have an x column, and this we have a numbers column, all the numbers, right? So we look at what are the x numbers, right? Or x, yeah, terms. So we have -6x, that's one of them. That's what we got here. And then we got 19x, right? Positive 19x. And that's what we got here. Then we go to the numbers. This one we have 20, so we write 20. This one's 25, right? 25. And now all we have to do is add vertically, right? So we got -6 plus 19 is 13. So we have 13 x's. So we know these are x's. These are all numbers, right? 20 plus 25, 45 numbers. So 13x plus 45 is our final answer. And the resulting answer has two terms, right? So this right here, this is your first term. This one right here, this is your second term. You could have many terms, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, infinite amount of terms. But this one we have 2. So that's why we say our resulting answer has 2 terms. And they're always separated by some kind of addition or subtraction, right? Separating your terms. So this one started with 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. We combine like terms, our x's and our numbers. We combine them. Our resulting answer now has only 2 terms. Okay, so example number 2, same thing. Okay, so what we can do here, because we have this double negative here, since they're double negative, we could rewrite the entire expression before creating columns, right? So if we have negative, remember 2 negatives next to each other is always positive. So that's why we have positive 7x, right? So a double negative here turned into a positive. And now we just have x's and numbers, right? So our x column, we have 7x, right? 7x here. We have 6x here. Our numbers be 14 and -6. Remember, always the sign, right? There's a sign. Remember the negative here, right? So remember the sign, right? Remember sign. Whatever it is, if it's a positive, just leave it positive. If it's negative, bring down the negative with it, right? So remember the sign right there. So if it's -6, you should put a -6 in your column. And then we just add our columns, right? 7x plus 6x, 7 plus 6, 13 x's, so 13x. Our numbers, 14 minus 6, or 14 plus -6, same, is +8. So our final answer is 13x plus 8. So 13x plus 8, we have two different terms. 13x is one term, 8 is your second term, and they're separated by addition. So we got two terms. Okay, so again, example number 3. So now we have multiple variables, right? Multiple letters. We have an x, we have y's, and we have numbers. We got all these other ones that we need to combine. And then remember that double negative, right? So that double negative is going to be that positive. So we got plus y now. And now we can line up our columns. Now we just have an extra column. We have x's, y's, and numbers. And these columns are going to help us keep track of what we're doing. Right? So we have x's first. So we got 4 here, so 4x. And then we got a negative x. Remember our sign, right? Negative. So put negative x. Then we got our next one. We got y's, negative 5y. And down at the end, we got 1y. Right? And that's a 1y. 1y by itself. And then our numbers, -7 and +9. That's how we got that. So now we just add straight up and down. 4 minus 1x, because that's a 1, right? 4 minus 1 is 3. So we got 3 x columns, right? It's 3 x's. In our y column, we got -5 plus 1, which is -4 y's, right? -4y. Our numbers, -7 plus 9 is +2. And that's our answer. 3x minus 4y plus 2. Let me write it as our answer. And this one has 3 terms, right? We got 1, 2, 3 different terms. So our resulting answer has 3 terms. Okay, that's good. So we started with, listen, how much we started? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we started with 6 terms. We simplified it, combined like terms, we got 3 terms at the end. So from 6 to 3 made it a lot simpler. And we organize it, right? How many x's we have, how many y's, and how many numbers. Okay, so let's look at number 1. So combine like terms to create an equivalent expression for each of the following. We're going to create columns, right? So we're going to create columns for one for each type of term and then add vertically. Okay, let's see what we have. So we have x's and we have numbers. Let's do a different color. Number. So we have x's. I want to make my x column here. And then we have numbers. Let's do our numbers. So we have numbers right there. So we go through our x column, right? So x's, we have 8x, the first one. Then here we have -2x, remember the sign. So -2x, okay, those are all our x's. Then we go to our numbers, we got -2, so we put -2, and we got +13, right? So we can put +13 here. And all we need to do is add vertically. So we got 8 minus 2 is 6. And that was in the x column, so 6x's, 6x. Next time we got numbers, right? -2 plus 13 is going to be +11. And that's our number. So that's it right there. So our answer would be 6x plus 11. And the number of terms that we have 1, 2, separated by addition, right? So we got 2 different terms. So resulting answer has 2 terms. Okay, number 2. Same process. Okay, let's see. We have this right, double negatives, right? So let's change that first. Let's get rid of that double negatives. So double negatives becomes positive, right? So we're going to have +5 right in there. Let's make it blue. +5. And then we have the rest of it, 3x plus 7 plus 8x. right? And a double negative just turn to a positive. That's it. And now we can do columns. We have x's, numbers, x, and a number. Just two columns. So x column, and we have our numbers column. Right there. Let's go to the first one. So we have negative 3x. Write that in there. Negative 3x. We have 8x, right? Positive 8x. All right, positive 8x. Okay, done with the x's. Let me go to the numbers. Positive 7 and positive 5. Now all we need to do is add vertically. So negative 3 plus 8 is 5. And that's in the x column, so just 5 x's. The number column, we just have 7 plus 5, which is 12, right? So positive 12. And that's our answer right there, 5x plus 12. So 5x plus 12, and how many terms do we have? 1, 2. So 2 terms. All right. Okay, last example. Okay, now this one we have multiple variables. Let's see what we have. We have x's, y's, and numbers. X's, y's, and numbers. Those are the options. So let's do 3 different columns. So we have x's, y's, and numbers. Right there. And we're just going to go through each one. Make it a little bit easier for ourselves. So 9x, we put it in the x column. And then do we have any more x's? No, we don't. Okay, so we go to the y's. So negative 6y will be next. Right there. Oh, we have another one right here, negative 2y. So we add that into that column for the y's. And then we have our numbers, 14, so positive 14, and we have a positive 18 right there. So we line them up in our columns, and all we need to do is add straight up and down, vertically. So the first column has 9 and nothing, so just 9x, let's bring that down. So 9x, second column, negative 6 minus 2, or negative 6 plus negative 2, we have 8 negatives, right? So negative 8, and that's in the y column, so y's. And then 14 plus 18 for our numbers, right? So 14 plus 18, 32. So positive 32 right there, and we're done. And we know we're done because we use all our columns and all our terms, and we just add it straight up and down. So we got 9x minus 8y plus 32, and that's our answer. So 9x minus 8y plus 32. How many terms do we have? 1, 2, 3. And they're separated with subtraction, addition. So we have 3 different terms. So our resulting answer has 3 terms. And that's it.